Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start our next topic, forms of condensation. In the last class, we studied what is condensation. We know that condensation is the process of changing the water vapor into water droplets after reaching a saturation point. In this class, we are going to study different forms of condensation. Atmosphere should reach the saturation level for the condensations to begin. With the further addition of water vapor or due to considerable fall in temperature, the water vapor in the atmosphere begins to condense. And these condensations are mainly of four forms. We call it as forms of condensation. Four types of condensations. That the first one is dew, second one mist or fog, third one frost, and fourth one cloud. Dew. The first one, dew. What is dew? Look at the picture. We can see tiny droplets of water on the tip of the leaves after a cool night. When in the early morning we can see a tiny droplets of water on the tip of the leaves. We can call this tip of water as dew drops. We are calling this tip of water as dew drops. So what is dew? The water droplets clinking on the blade of grass or leaves early in the morning. We can see tiny droplets of water on the tip of the leaves is known as dew or dew drops. How it is formed? The surface of the earth gets cooled during the night and it cools near atmosphere. This causes the water vapor to condense. The condensed droplet cling on to the cold surface on the earth's surface. That is, during the night time, when the air come into contact with the grass or and this atmosphere contain the humid, that is the water vapor. When it come into contact with the uh, surface of the earth, the condensation process begin. That is, change in temperature happen. The condensation water, the gases change into water droplets and it cling on the cold surface of the earth. This tiny droplet can be seen as the dew drops on the tip of the leaves or the blades of the grass. Okay, and the next one is frost. There are places on the earth surface where the temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius. The night temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius. We know that as the altitude increases, the temperature go below 0 degree Celsius. In that places, these water droplets, like the dew drops, no, these water droplets changes into tiny ice crystals, and these ice crystals is known as frost. So what is frost? The places on the earth's surface where the temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius. Instead of dew drops, here tiny ice crystals are formed. These forms of condensation is called frost. The next one, the third one, fog or mist. When we go to Ooty, Kodaikanal, and in hilly region, we always come into view this type of sceneries. It's very beautiful sceneries that we can observe from the top of the hills. This is known as fog or mist. That is, cloud is coming to the near to the earth's surface. We feel that cloud is coming to near to the earth's surface. This is known as fog or mist. This is another form of condensation. So what is fog or mist? The condensed tiny droplets of water formed by the cooling of air remain suspended in the atmosphere itself. They can very well describe as clouds close to the Earth's surface. That is, tiny droplets of water which can suspend in the atmosphere itself, because its weight is very less and it can hold suspend in the atmosphere itself, and they uh, can be viewed like a cloud very close to the earth's surface. Fog or mist is the result of the condensation around the minute dust particles in the lower atmosphere. We know that in the last year class we studied about the condensation nuclei. What is condensation nuclei? It's tiny dust particles which help in the process of condensations. When the condensation process started, tiny minute dust particles act on that is present in the lower atmosphere act on the water vapor in the air and form a cloud like condensation process, and this is known as fog or mist, that is very close to the lower part of the earth surface. So fog or mist, what is the difference between fog or mist? It is because of the density of the fog and mist that differentiate with it for difference between the fog and the mist. See, if the range of visibility is less than 1 kilometer, it is termed as fog. When the visibility, we can't see the things, the visibility is very less. When these cloud like condensations come on the earth's surface, the visibility is, it affects the visibility. According to the visibility, it is classified as fog and mist. If the visibility is less than 1 kilometer, if we cannot see the things in 1 kilometer, that is less than 1 kilometer, it is termed as fog, that is thicker than the mist. If the range of visibility is more than 1 kilometer, if we can see the things more than 1 kilometer, the visibility, when the visibility is more, it is called mist. From this we can understand that the fog is denser than the mist, and mainly fog can be seen where there is more water content, especially in the lake region where the water body is more. We can see the fog over that region, and the density of fog is more than the mist, and the visibility is very less in fog. And the next form of condensation is cloud. As we all know that when we look into the atmosphere, when we look into the sky, we can see different types of clouds. How these clouds are formed? Clouds are also the result of the condensation. Clouds are formed by the condensation of water vapor around the fine dust particles in the atmosphere. We know that the dust particles in the atmosphere play a vital role in the formation of condensation and the formation of many natural phenomena. These dust particles help in the process of condensation and the process of cloud formation in the atmosphere. When the water vapor reaches at a certain latitude or altitude at a very high, it started cooling down by the action of the dust particles. It started to condense, that is, from water vapor it changed into water droplets, and it remains suspended on the atmosphere. The water droplets so formed are less than 0.001 centimeter in dimension, and so they remain suspended in the atmosphere. That is, weight is only 0.001 centimeter in dimension, and it remains suspended over the atmosphere, and we can see different types of clouds on the atmosphere. And these are the four forms of condensation, that is clouds, fog or mist, frost, and dew. These are the four forms of condensation that we studied today. Okay, that's all for today's class, and you have to write down the notes and submit on Friday. Watch the video and write down the notes. This is your notes that you can write it down and submit on Friday. Okay, thank you.